Sportycast, and today is the first episode of In the Scrum. As you can see, I've got two very special guests here today. Skatey, second on Superbru, all the way from Abu Dhabi. Philip, local rugby player, and the guy that knows everything about rugby. So he says, how are you, boy?
You know, I won't say that I know everything about rugby, but I think I know a fair amount. You know, I have been playing for 18 years. But all that aside, Skady, lovely to see you here, buddy. Congratulations on the Superbru, and I'm coming for your title. Second of all, Jock, absolutely an honor to be on this amazing show. You know, I've heard so much about it. I know we've been talking for a few months about coming on here. So thank you so much for having me. Of course, everybody in the UAE is talking about this show, how amazing it is, being featured in SA Rugby magazine. Congratulations on that. That is a very big feat. So yeah, it's really, really great to be here.
Good stuff. Skady, how you doing? I know you're second. Not first yet, though.
No, I'm definitely going for the first sec. Don't worry, I'm going to get there. But Jockey, thanks very much for having me. Wasn't really expecting this when I came to the side, but something different, something new, and definitely looking forward to see what happens.
I think it's going to be a good chat. I think we're going to have some fun. And we're going to talk some good rugby. Right, so the first thing I thought we could talk about is obviously the Superbru. As you all know, we've got a Sportycast Superbru that we're running during the season. And at the end of the season, we will have a winner. The guy that wins the Superbru will get a hamper. Currently, like I said, Skady's second. So Skady, just want to know your tactics. What do you do? Because every week I get 5 out of 7 and I just don't get the bonus points. I want to know, what are you doing differently that I'm not doing?
Well, first of all, I've got 5 out of 7, same as you, but the only difference is I'm getting closer to the scores than you.
Exactly. So
It's a bit of a tricky one. It all boils down to a gut feel for me. Obviously, you've got to look at the past results, you've got to look at head-to-head results and stuff like that. You also look at current form as well. Home and away sort of thing. For me, again, you look at all those different aspects, but it all comes down to a gut feel. And I'll be honest, I'm enjoying a great start to the Superbru, and may it long continue.
I think earlier you mentioned that it's the first time this early in the season that you're doing so well. Normally you come later in the season, you pick up the points.
Normally I get a bit of a bad start, and I get stuck at the bottom, and I find my way back up. But for some reason this year I've got things right. I think I've just carried on from last season where I did end off quite well. So Philip,
sounds like you should be worried, because it looks like he's going to pick up as the season goes on.
You know, talk is cheap, but actions speak louder than words. You know about that. So one thing that I can say about the Sportycast table at the moment is it is very tight between first and 12th. Obviously, me laying on 11th at the moment, moving up to 10. Only I think 0.5 of a point behind you. Him only being about 1.5 points ahead of you. So
still ahead of you, so it's fine.
Looks like he's been eyeing out that table, looking at where he can sneak in a couple of points. You're really competitive when it comes to the Superbru, eh?
you know, the price of a Superbru champ is one thing, but the price of getting a Sportycast hamper, now that's something a completely different ballgame. But you know, in terms of tactics, same as he said, I guess it just comes down to a gut feeling. You know, looking at results that previously happened, looking at the teams, obviously thinking which team is going to do better, having a look at the lineups. Of course, with a lot of players coming in now, a lot of players going out of the teams, a lot of teams overall, a lot of young guys coming in. So it all depends on that, you know. I've also enjoyed quite a nice run, averaging 5 per week, 5 out of 7, getting here and there the points right. I guess it all comes down to luck as well. And you know, I don't want to give all of my tactics away right away, but you know, some of the forefathers whisper in my ear a little bit. We'll see how it goes. You know,
they're clearly not working for you right now.
It's 1.5 points. We'll get there. It's still a very, very long season.
I've heard, so little birdie told me that you started the season late and you got a couple of bonus points because you started late. So you started on something like 5 points or something like that. So technically, you should be 5 points behind all of us because it took you 2 weeks to get on Superbru. So was that a tactic?
Well, it's not technically because I didn't join in round 2. you know. However, fortune does favor the bold, and I know I'm going bold here and there, but I actually had a word with the creators of the podcast and with the creators of the Sportybru. I'm gonna call it the Sportybru.
Are you
Superbru and
putting
Sportycast?
in your own name?
Exactly. Hashtag trademark on the Sportybru. And they did allocate me a few extra points, but that's just all based on my knowledge of everything,
Well, we're going to test your knowledge later.
Bring it
So
on.
I think next we're going to look at talking about the previous weeks, what's been happening in the games, and then looking forward to this weekend, a couple of games coming up, and then obviously we're going to test Philip's knowledge on rugby. Right, welcome back, guys. So we're going to be talking about last weekend's results, round 3, and we're also going to be talking about the team of the week. So I'm going to kick it off, boys. Some great results. As I said earlier, I got 5 out of 7. I think the surprise win for me was definitely the Highlanders winning away from home in the 84th minute. I really had the Brumbies taking that after the great start that they had the first 2 weeks. Stormers also, I picked the Stormers, but again away from home, scoring in the 84th minute.
84th, yeah, it was definitely 84th.
Was absolutely crazy. So I think my team of the week would definitely have to be the Highlanders, because it was their first win. It was away from home. It was against the Brumbies, who were very confident after the first 2 wins that they got at home. So yeah, very interesting. I don't know how you guys got it. Who did you guys? Philip, I'm going to start with you. Who was your team of the week?
That's actually a very hard choice. I mean, you had the Rebels taking down the Tars, which I thought the Warriors were actually going to come out on that one. But the Rebels did really, really good. The Sharks went down to the Canes, so the Canes also was a really, really good performance. But my team of the week, I would definitely have to say is the Stormers. I mean, in my opinion, I think the Stormers have what it takes this season completely to go all the way. I'm a Sharks supporter, I absolutely love the Sharks, but I just think the squad and the depth that the Stormers have at the moment is absolutely phenomenal. The last game they had, there was some questionable calls from the ref. I mean, that tackle on Sia Kulisi, that definitely I feel should have been cited. However, the Stormers definitely my team of the week and team of the season going forward.
Do you think, it's amazing that you say the Stormers. What's interesting is that they have been picking up some injuries in the first couple of weeks.
There's a couple of players missing this week.
Yeah, so a whole lot of players that are not playing this week. So already I'm thinking it's affecting their squad. So going deeper into the seasons, if they carry on getting these injuries after injuries, I think the prop, yeah. What's the Springbok guy who tore his calf?
Mbonani.
Yeah, he's out.
He's gone for the rest of the season.
He's
Well,
out.
guys, let's just correct it. Mbonani is a hooker first of all.
So that's it. Prop hooker.
And it's okay. Even
Same thing,
It's-
mate.
Yeah, same thing.
You guys are right. They've got Sia Kulisi, who's out, of course, a big blow, Springbok captain. You've got Bongi Mbonani, who's out. But then, as I was talking about squad depth, I mean, you've got Skara Ntabeni, a fellow Springbok, who's stepping up into the role of hooker, of course, for Bongi Mbonani. So, as I said, going forward, I don't really think it's going to be such a big issue, simply because they've got that quality in the depth. I mean, if you look at the Stormers team, they've been playing together for a long time. They've got that brotherhood, if I could call it. So they have the squad that even if you have a player injured, like there was questions about Yankees playing this coming week, not playing. Is he going to be injured? Is he not? Look at him. A season ago, nobody knew who the guy was. He came from playing club rugby for UWC and the Varsity Cup to being one of the top Springboks at scrum half we currently have. So I don't think that in terms of squad depth they're going to struggle because they've got all these.
I think they're gonna struggle. I think if you look at all the teams in Super Rugby, particularly the South Africans, we actually don't have much depth. Yes, the Stormers have probably the best depth out of all the teams, but my feeling is that it is going to catch up to them sooner rather than later. So right now, yes, they're okay, but if they lose 1 or 2 more players, especially experienced players, they're definitely going to start struggling. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, but then in all honesty, 1 or 2 players doesn't make a team. It's a team.
If you had to lose leaders, it's a big thing.
But I'm gonna just add on to what he's saying, and I feel like we're bullying you here. But I think it's not about injuries. I think it's the key players that are getting injured.
Yeah.
And I think you just
But it's not just
nailed
the-
it by saying the hooker, Siakalisi. You know, you're talking about key players within the front row. Where do you win the game? You win in the front. So already you're on the back foot. What I also will say is like youngsters like Yaki Kutsia, that guy has been absolutely amazing.
He's had a cracker season so far.
He's really been the surprise package. I mean, I've known him for quite a while. He's an ex-Lofty boy as well, primary school, and then obviously went to Glenwood. So,
Funny enough, I went to school with his sister, Rochelle Patil. We were actually in the same class.
yeah. Mother's name's Dalian, yeah?
Yeah.
Small world, eh?
Yeah. All of the old boys represent.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, I'm from Westville, my apologies.
It's okay, there always has to be one guy in the room, you know.
But I agree. I think you guys have both valid points, and I think it's going to be interesting. I probably, like I said, the Stormers, yeah, could have been team of the week because also winning the game in the 84th minute. But I went Highlanders just because the Stormers. I think I picked them for week 1. I picked them team of the week. Who did you go for, Skating? Seeing that you're second on Superbru,
Well, I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you. I thought the Chiefs were awesome. Playing Sunwolves away from home is always difficult. Sunwolves at home can be a difficult challenge. I mean, and they put what it was.
70-43 if I'm not mistaken.
It was big. It was 43-17. It was absolutely big win there. They didn't just go there and beat them. They actually come on. So for me, that would be the second best side. But for me, it was. I know I'm a Sharks supporter as well. I think like most of us are. I'm going to go with the Hurricane just because the form that the Sharks were in, the fact that we were ranked right up there at the top, and we got absolutely humbled like you cannot believe. So I'm definitely going to go for the Hurricanes. It was a great win for them. Sad to see from Sharks supporters side of you, but
Then we're going to get a feeling about the Sharks. Also, I'm not making any excuses for them. But if you're looking back at that game, you had the likes of Cohen Bosch, you had an emergency, you had to go back to South Africa. So you had Buddha Chamberlain stepping in at
he
5.
got injured as well.
Exactly, and that's somebody who doesn't have any Super Rugby experience. It was his first start. He came from playing Varsity Cup all of a sudden into a Super Rugby team. So, a flight.
That's what we talk about the depth. The Sharks don't have the depth. Where the Stormers do have a little bit more.
A little bit, but I think in key positions, I think they'll fall short going forward.
100%.
But interesting enough, you mentioned the Chiefs. I thought so far, first 3 rounds, probably the team of the season so far for me. One of the two
they beat the
teams,
Crusaders as well.
one of 2 teams that are undefeated. Stormers undefeated as well. But beating the Crusaders. Yes, the Crusaders are a very young side, very inexperienced side, but they've got fantastic coaching staff. I think those guys know what they're doing. I think Scott Robinson, Scott Henson, I've said it before, they work well together, so which is very important. I think they know how to control the boys and just how to make sure that they get the results.
They're following the Crusaders ethos. Because the ethos doesn't leave the players. You can lose like a Dan Carter. Someone comes in, he's got the same ethos as the Crusaders, and they just have the youngsters coming through like a cannot.
Yeah, so that's actually one thing that I like to comment on. Rugby used to be, if you're thinking about 2007, Barkley's Porter, Victor Matfield, those type of guys. Exactly. When rugby was a very physical game where South Africa dominated by running over the guys. And then from 2010 to 2017, you had New Zealand who adapted this running rugby game.
Offload game, the Sunny Ball game.
Exactly, that running rugby, everybody run. There was no more forwards taking up. That's why I think this year it's such an open competition simply because New Zealand adapted that. South Africa started adapting that.
Yes, 100%.
Australia started adapting that. The Sunwolves, they adapted very great. The Sunwolves are excellent at that quick ball out.
That's why I say they Chiefs to beat them away from home was a great
Great,
victory.
exactly. So I'm thinking, in terms of these youngsters coming through, I remember you guys talking about key players and key positions. That's true. In some teams you do have that. But other teams, you have this quick flowing rugby game where you don't know what's going to happen. It's not all about 1-2 players anymore that's going to take it up. Like you said, Mullen, so you're going to run over the guy. We don't have that anymore. With the modern days and the new laws that have been implemented, it's all to improve running rugby. That's what rugby is nowadays. It's not more powerful.
It's for the spectator now as well.
Exactly.
But it's entertainment. At the end of the day, if you look at every sport, it's all about entertainment. What attracts crowds? Entertainment. And I think that's very important. And I think looking forward, rugby is doing really well and it's in a good place currently. And I just hope that we continue that and we continue just to modernize the sport. And it will be amazing to see what happens in 5 years.
Look, you know what? I think Rassie Erasmus has done a freaking awesome job with Springboks. So I think the whole of South African rugby, all the South African franchises have kind of picked up on that, and they're trying to play that rugby, that running brand of rugby, which is absolutely fantastic to see. I know if you go back and you look at more schoolboy rugby is about running. It's about getting the ball out to the wings, running, doing your thing. As soon as you get to your Curry Cups and all that, all of a sudden it gets tighter and stuff like that. But now we're seeing these oaks playing some absolute amazing rugby, letting the ball get out to the wing. I mean, Cheslin Colby was absolute standouts in the rugby. But now we're seeing that now in the Super Rugby as well, which I think is absolutely awesome, like, especially for South African rugby teams.
Yeah. So, guys, as you can see, all three of us had different opinions on.
But only one of us was right.
three opinions on who we had as team of the week. And yeah, next we're going to be talking about this weekend and our predictions. And we're going to see how that goes and what they've picked on their Superbrus. As you all know, Skatey's second at the moment. Will he top the log at the end of this weekend? Or will he fall down and will Philip jump up? We'll have to wait and see. Right, welcome back everyone. We're going to move on to the predictions for this weekend. I'm going to be going through every fixture and then we're going to get the opinions from the guys that know it all when it comes to rugby.
From Mr. Superbru himself.
Right, we're going to start with Mr.
I'm coming second. I'm not
He's second, by the way. He's not first yet. Unfortunately, Carl couldn't be here tonight. But I'll definitely get him on the next episode.
How on earth does he stay first consistently?
He knows his rugby.
Okay, well, that's all we need.
There's some witchcraft involved there.
That's all we need to get him on the show.
Yeah.
There's some witchcraft involved.
We'll get him on the
Every
show
single
next time
Mate.
and we'll find out what his tactics are.
I need to know those tactics.
Right, so we're going to start off in round 4. We've got Crusaders, Highlanders. Obviously, the game's already taken place. I picked the Crusaders. Picked them.
I think everyone picked Crusaders.
Yeah. I think 99% of them picked Crusaders in the world. So I think it was a very obvious pick. They were at home. I didn't think they'll win the game by 20 points. I don't know what you guys got. What did you get, Philip?
I said Crusaders by 20. I think they end up. I said Crusaders by 10. Sorry, they end up winning by 20.
Trying to get bonus points here.
I need
Trying to get like free bonus points.
Yeah, free bonus.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you did in the first round.
Exactly, you know.
Just rock up late, get 5 bonus points, and then carry on.
Mate, life is not about what you know, it's all about who you know.
Oh yeah.
You gotta know that one.
So you had 10.
Yeah, I think Crusaders by 10. Just looking at the team, I mean, their fullback up there, the backline is phenomenal. They are absolutely laced with international New Zealand players.
Yep.
And with a backline like that, I would not be surprised if they end up in the finals yet again for like a 6th, 7th year consecutive.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going to be up there.
So my predictions early on, Stormers, Crusaders, finals. You heard it here first. Hashtag Sportycast.
Right, good. You know we're still at the first game, right? Okay, just checking.
Technically, we're at the 4th game.
Right, Mr. Skate, seeing that you're second on the log, how did you go?
I actually did quite well. I picked Crusaders by 22. I was off by 2 points.
Good.
So I was quite happy with that.
Yes, if you got those 2 points early, you would have been first.
But
Fair point.
you know what? I kind of thought Crusaders had a big game in them.
Yeah.
Obviously, after their one loss, there's something that's still to come. Obviously, still Crusaders been a young side, so I was happy with how things came out.
we also got to understand Highlanders. You know, I feel this season. I think they're going to take the Blues spot on the log because I think year in year out they're a hit and miss team.
Very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. So, and they've already shown it. I mean, last week winning. I mean, yes, they won in the 83rd or 84th minute, but I didn't give them any chance against the Crusaders at home. Yes, Crusaders are inexperienced.
You should have
like
put more points down.
I did. I put 12.
You thought 12 was
listen,
enough,
it's still a New Zealand derby at the end of the day, right? You've got to look
true.
at it that way as well. So that's where I went, seeing that it's a New Zealand derby. But yeah, you win some. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. So, right, then we've got to look at Rebels Sharks. This is going to be interesting.
With all the Sharks fans.
You know, being Shark supporters. Skatey, we're going to go over to you first.
Look, my original pick right now, it's Sharks by 8.
Good.
But I might change that, to be honest.
Okay.
You can't, it's been locked in, books.
Haven't locked it yet.
What?
Haven't
What?
locked it. Haven't locked it.
Why not?
Because
So that's his tactics.
it's not that. Honest truth is, Sharks are very inconsistent, especially away from home.
Yeah.
So Rebels being at home, they had a good win last week. They might bring it back this week. They might carry on and win, but you can't write the Sharks off, especially when you're Sharks supporters.
Oh, mate, come on.
Sometimes you got to pick with the heart, sometimes you got to pick with the head. And right now, to be honest, that's one of the picks right now that I am backing with. But right now, it is Sharks by 8.
Good, good. Philip, who do you have?
Well, I've got Sharks by 13, mate. I'm confident in my team. We've got starters coming back. You've got Kerwin Bosch back at fly.
Kerwin Bosch is gonna make
You've
a
got
big
Fussy at fullback. You've got what's his name? I just said
PP on the wing.
Mapimpi.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Yeah.
We've got Mapimpi on the wing. Our right wing is an unknown player. I don't know.
He had a good game last week, huh?
He did, so they rewarded him with his first start. You've got Vovo coming in on the bench. You've got Jeremy Ward coming into the starting lineup, replacing our captain. So I've got full belief in the Sharks. I think they're actually going to be great.
But not losing your captain might not be a bit of a wrong.
I doubt that if you have a team like that, I mean, look, you have senior players who can step in as captain. You've got Andre Estays.
Well, he's captain for the side, yeah.
You've got Luazi Vovo, even though he's on the bench, he's a leader in the team. You've got Ox Noche, who's starting at prop. He's a leader in the team. Even though Kieran Confiran is a very young hooker, he's been playing in the Super Rugby setup for 3 seasons. So he's been mentored in that position. You've got Craig Burden on the bench as a replacement hooker. I mean, Craig Burden himself has got over 50 Super Rugby caps.
It's a lot of you keep talking about all the guys on the bench, and it's a lot of experience on that bench. And I think that's going to play a big role going into the last quarter of the game. Being away from home, like you said, they're not normally. Maybe that's the tactic they're going, putting the experienced guys on. Maybe too experienced. Got to think of that. Like you said, they've been there for a very long time. Again, you know, when it comes being away from home, I went with the Sharks, and the reason I went with the Sharks is just because, again, the Rebels have been up and down in the last couple of weeks. So based on that,
Honest truth, there's 2 inconsistent sides.
Yeah.
So right now, that's why I'm stuck in
it's
between.
There might be
usually pitches on the day, probably.
Exactly, they might be inconsistent, but if you look at past results, you see that the Sharks have won more times over the Rebels.
But
than the
not,
Rebels
but
have
not
over the
away from
Sharks.
home.
Not away,
Not
yeah.
away from home.
That plays a factor being away from home.
Sharks at home, we dominated the cup final. But away from home, we have kind of struggled against the Rebels.
So I mean, it's a neat, like you can see, it's very interesting. I went with the
Sharks
Sharks
for the
as well.
Okay, well, my heart says Sharks, but
Yeah,
you never know.
listen.
Superbru, you also got to think with your head a little bit.
At the end of the day, we all want the Sharks to win, and I think they'll pull it through at the end of the day. We all pick Sharks. Next game we got the Chiefs Rugby. Interesting game, that.
Oh, not that interesting.
Very interesting. Why are you saying not interesting?
Mate, Chiefs are going to take it by at least 28 points. Chiefs over Brumbies. I mean, Chiefs are a formidable force in Super Rugby in itself.
Unbeaten.
Exactly. I mean,
True.
it's the Chiefs. If it's not Crusaders in the finals, it's definitely going to be the Chiefs. You've got the Brumbies. Brumbies have been struggling with form over the last 3 seasons. They haven't really done that much, if you think in terms of when lost were they in a final. I think it was
No, it's been a while,
2011, 2012, somewhere around there. So there isn't really anything special that the Brumbies have done. I mean, if you look at Australia in general, in the World Cup, they were very disappointing. Obviously, there's a lot of politics going on in the background with the whole Israel Folau thing going on, with the whole Michael Schicker thing going on. So I think as an Australian in general, we've got a lot of background issues going on in the background. And obviously, we are talking about international teams here, but that does spill over into your national teams as well. So,
And then as we talk about the Springboks doing so well, it's filtering into the South African team.
exactly.
It's like all the guys that won the World Cup. It was interesting. I was speaking to the wife, which is, as you all know, she's a Welsh supporter. To this day, I don't know why. Maybe because she lives there. But we were talking about all these South African guys that won the World Cup, and they've just basically stepped up going into the Super
It's all
Rugby.
confidence.
That's all it is.
All about confidence.
It's amazing. It's like they're setting the bar for all the other guys and say, right, this is the standard, and this is the type of rugby we're going to play from now on, which is fantastic for South African rugby.
100%.
Exactly, and then, sorry, just to carry on to that point, the Chiefs as well, New Zealand, losing obviously to England in the semi-finals, they've also got a big point to prove in this Super Rugby. They want to regain their pride. They want to regain the championship. So obviously the Chiefs, being one of the 2 top contenders in New Zealand rugby at the moment, they're going to go out to make a statement, and I think it's going to be a big statement.
Right, so you're going Chiefs, 28 points. What are you going, Teddy?
I'm also going Chiefs. Obviously being unbeaten at home,
Yeah.
you can't really write them off. But I do feel that the Brumbies are going to give a bit of a fight. I mean, they've had a good start barring their loss. In the last week.
Yeah, it was last week. Literally
So,
last week.
I went Chiefs by 17.
Okay.
So it's going to be a good game, but Chiefs are going to take it.
I'm also going with the Chiefs. I think it will be a comfortable win at the end of the day, being at home. I just think they're too strong for the Brumbies. Brumbies are probably, for me, the strongest team in the Australian conference.
I agree 100%.
So
100%.
I think it's going to be tight, like you said, but I think at the end of the day, Chiefs will run away with it. Right, then we got interesting game. We've got the Reds. They've not won a game. They're probably, to me, the worst team of the season so far, which is quite surprising because they played well against the Brumbies. We're unlucky to lose that game. Sunwolves, first round, come out with a victory. Second round, have a bye. And third round, they lost last week.
Quite far.
Yeah. And
No,
this
the
week they're
Chiefs
playing
beat them,
away against the Reds. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys.
So I actually went with Sunwolves by 2 points.
Close game.
As we were talking about New Zealand wanting to make amends for the World Cup mess up, turn the tables around. Japan had an absolutely amazing World Cup.
They did.
Making it through the quarterfinals. Absolutely phenomenal. Went in all the pool stages unbeaten. And then a very sad thing for me to see is this is the last season we'll see Sunwolves in Super Rugby. Obviously, at the end of the season, they are getting cut. The season is going to be the competition is going to be restructured. So I personally feel they want to make amends this season and go out with a bang. So my prediction, Sunwolves by 2.
Good.
Hayden Parker is going to come with an all-important conversion right at the end, secure it, slot it.
Are you calling it?
Calling it.
Good. Steady?
I'm very different to you.
It's
This is what Superbru is all about.
It is so amazing. I mean, you are second years mid-table, mid-bottom
Excuse
table.
me.
So
How many points ahead of me are you?
it doesn't matter.
0.5.
You know,
It's
it's,
0.5.
it's about the positions, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
about the rest of that
What about
stuff.
the-
You're like 1.5 points ahead of me.
Hey,
Right.
we're still ahead of you. Okay, there
We'll
we
see
go.
after this weekend.
Getting back to you.
I have gone Rebels by 17.
Okay.
I mean Reds, but
So Reds.
Reds, yeah.
The reason why for Reds is because just carrying over that momentum that they had last week. It was a close game against the Brumbies, and like we said, Brumbies being the best team in the Australian Conference, in my opinion. The fact that they
Rebels.
Okay, that's your side. The fact that they've carried on that momentum, I've got a funny feeling that they're going to pull something out the hats. And also with Sunwolves not being a great travelling team, I think they're going to box it.
You know where I honestly think Reds made a very big mistake was when they let go of Quade Cooper.
100%, I'll choose to that.
Cheers, mate. I think
Quade Cooper was.
Quade Cooper,
Quade Cooper and who was the scrum off?
Will Guinea.
Will Guinea.
Mate, Quade Cooper is an absolutely phenomenal first half Reds. Phenomenal.
No, but that whole combination was amazing.
Yeah, but the thing is, he had a whole falling out with the coach. I mean, the coach was a Kiwi, if I'm not mistaken, took over the reins, and obviously them playing against each other, there was some friction that took over, and we never know what goes on behind the scenes. But I know that he was unhappy with the coaching staff was unhappy with him. But I personally think if they kept him in that team, he's an amazing leader, he's an amazing player, and losing him just...
But that's what we're talking about, losing leaders. If you lose leaders, you are going to fall behind.
Yeah.
Sorry, going back to the Stormers, they're losing leaders in the numbers.
Yeah, but
That's what
talking about the Reds, they lost the leader in the likes of Will Guinea. They lost the leader in the likes of Quade Cooper.
Yes.
And there was nobody to step up. Whereas on the Stormers, on the other hand, if you lose leaders, so say Sia's out, Bongi's out, you've got Jamie Roberts who can step up. You've got Sergio Peterson who can step up. Dylan Lakes who can step up. You've got Stephen Kissel.
So how many of those are Springboks?
All of them.
Oh,
except
Jamie Roberts.
Jamie Roberts is the British
My
Irish
wife
Lion.
would not be happy with that comment.
Jamie Roberts is the British and Irish Lions player, right? All the other ones
He's also
have played
Wales
at Springbok.
player.
But they haven't had that many games once.
Look at the front row.
Less than 5 games.
Look
I
at the
think-
front row.
I
You have
think-
the South African front row.
I think we can't
Okay, we'll
look
go
that
back.
far
We'll go back.
into. I mean, we're only in round 4, and I think we're going a bit far into the future here.
Back to the future.
But I think Reds, Sunwolves. I also think the Reds are going to pull that one off. I just think Sunwolves, they're not good away from home, and at the end of the day, I just think the Reds will pull off their first win. They've not been horrible. They've just not been
Haven't got
good
the
enough.
results.
Yeah,
Haven't got the
they've
results.
just not been good enough. I thought they were going to beat the Brumbies. Ended up not happening. They had a good game. Just didn't take their opportunities. I think that's the main thing that stands out to me is that they're not taking their opportunities. Very young side, very inexperienced side. But I think they'll pull it through, and I see them winning that game. Right, now, this is a very interesting one for me. Very interesting.
Good game. Really good game.
Stormers, Jaguars. I think this is the game of the weekend for me. Disagree?
Disagree.
Okay.
I
Why?
think the game of the week is going to be Sharks Rebels because the fact that it's such an unknown sort of quantity. I think Stormers at home, they're unstoppable. So I think Stormers are going to take that one by about 12.
Okay.
So for me, Stormers have got it. I mean, like we said, I think Stormers are probably the best side in the South African Conference, in my opinion. Even though we're all Sharks supporters,
Yeah.
we all agree on that.
We've got to be realistic. We've got to be realistic at the end of the day.
So,
It's like a Springbok team, basically.
yeah.
but then also you're looking at the Jaguares, not Jaguars, Jaguares. The Jaguares, they don't travel very well, and they played all their games at home at the moment.
And they won the finals last year.
Yeah, they haven't played an away game yet, so we'll see what happens. It should be interesting. But I still think Stormers have too much.
Okay, quickly over to you. Who do you think is going to win it?
My prediction, Stormers by far. I think it's going to be a really tight game. The Jaguares making it to the finals last year. They are absolutely a mean team, a good team, good with ball in hand. But I think Stormers will win.
I'm going to go with Stormers as well. I don't think it's going to be more than 7 points. I also think around 5 points. Very tight game. But again, Jaguars are coming off a loss against the Hurricanes, which is not good. And they had games at home. And they played first away game, which, you know, always a big one. Then the final game of the evening. I know my dad will be watching this game.
My father as well.
Big Bulls supporter. Bulls Blues. Yeah, as an interesting one, eh? An interesting game.
We'll let you
We'll
go
let you
first.
start.
Since you know everything about
Because
rugby.
we know
You know,
you're the rugby guru.
In all
So-
honesty, right, my father's also very, very big Bulls fan. We actually talking about this earlier in the week.
Okay.
With the quality that there is in the Bulls team at the moment, it's really hard to believe that they've lost all of their opening rounds. I mean, you've got the likes of veteran Mornay Stain coming back in at the first 5'8". You've got Josh Strauss coming in at 8'1". You've got Virgil Woodendall there at the inside centre. You've got Ivan van Zyl at the
But
scrum
you
half.
don't think, you mentioned those two names. For me, I know might sound a bit harsh, and I know my dad might not agree because he's a Bull supporter. But to me, they're has-beens. They're done. They peaked. I think they're in the team for experience. And that's the only reason.
It's almost like Bobby Skin stated the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
2000.
I don't think they're there to make a difference. In my personal
they're
opinion,
there to prove a role.
No,
I think that's
I
what they
completely
understand.
understand where you guys are coming from, right? And you do need leaders on the team. Like we said with the Reds, we don't know what's going on in the background. They could be friction with the coach. You never know what's going on.
yeah.
Mornay Stain, you're right, he is quite aged, but I think he's like a good wine. He gets better the older he gets.
Oh, you're looking like a Percy Montgomery. Yeah, you're not
Percy Montgomery
100%.
walked into him at the sevens last year, and I absolutely lost my mind. I was proper fangirling over him. And he's my favorite player that's ever lived, apart from Ches and Colby. But that's a discussion we'll have a bit later. But I think Mornay Stain is the perfect mentor for Monty Libbok. You look at Monty Libbok on the bench. When he comes on, he's explosive, he's energetic, but he doesn't have that experience yet. He's only had one season of Super Rugby.
And practices, you'll be learning from one next time.
Exactly.
You'll be doing that
So,
sort of stuff. Yeah, 100%.
you have that. But
So
you
you
also
keep agreeing with us for the first time this whole day.
Sheep.
How can you believe
no,
it?
I'm not agreeing. I'm not saying Monet is a has-been. I think he's a phenomenal flyer.
No, he is.
One of the
He's
best.
good. I just
If
feel
I had to rate my top 3 blue ball flyers, North Moita, Derek O'Connor, Mornay Stain.
no.
Done.
But
Yeah,
I
all the way down
think
and
that's a
down.
conversation for another time.
Okay.
But getting back to
my prediction,
yeah.
I think it's going to be the game of the weekend. However, Blues have been very, very, very strong. So I'm going to have to lean towards the Blues by 8 points. It's going to be very tight, but I just think with that whole friction going on in the Bulls team at the moment, Blues are going to pull through.
Okay, interesting. Get it?
I'm going with Bulls just because there's a couple of players coming back from injury. So
Okay, interesting fact.
there's a couple of star players coming back from injury. So we spoke about leaders earlier. There are a couple of leaders coming back into the Bulls setup. Playing at home, I think Bulls going to take it by 8.
Right, so we got 1-1.
Bulls by 8 and other Blues by 8.
Right.
I just think before we end off the segment, there's one thing that I would
Well, I'm
like.
going to make my pick first.
Oh,
but,
sorry.
but yeah.
Sorry,
But yeah, carry on.
but
Carry on.
you're not that important. Let's go. Your pick. What do you think you're going to choose?
It's very interesting.
It was 1-1. Who you backing yet?
You know, guys, this is carried on for a long time, but I cannot pick my dad's team. It's just
You're going against the Bulls.
I just think they're not going to be good enough. I think the Blues, they've bought so many players. It's the 4th round. They've had time to play together. I actually think they could give the Bulls about 10 to 20 points
That's an interesting prediction.
on the weekend. I think it's going to be an exciting game.
That's like you said, that could actually be the game of the week.
Yeah,
that decides a lot of players because you're probably going to find like a lot of Crusaders, Emma's going to pick Crusaders or whatever. But this sort of game, it could be a 50-50 split.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you
the
pick
sort
that
of
side, you
first
pick
one,
that
yeah.
side. Let's say like I've picked the Bulls, I might go ahead of Yokes. Yokes picked the Blues, he might go ahead of me.
Exactly.
Which is
Hashtag
freaking-
coming for that second position.
And this is why we love Superbru, man.
It's amazing. Superbru is amazing.
Superbru is great, but Sportycast is the one to go.
Right.
This is Sportycast.
So as you guys heard, you heard it from the experts and their predictions for the games, and yeah, we'll see whether they're right, whether they know their rugby, or whether they don't know their rugby. I know my wife also, she'll be playing in the Superbru. I don't know who you picked. Who do you think will be winning between the Bulls and the Blues? So she's got the Blues as well.
I just have to put it up there. I think I went ahead of Nicole in the
Nicole.
Superbru.
Oh yeah,
Nicole.
interesting. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed our first episode of In the Scrum. Thanks to Philip, thanks to Scary for coming by and being my special guests in this first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed their knowledge of the game, their predictions and everything they had to say. Hope you guys had a good time in the scrum.
It was awesome, man. Thanks very much for having us.
Good.
I know it was absolutely awesome. Hopefully I'll be on soon, but next time I'll be as number 1.
Yeah, hopefully.
You know, coming on the show, it's actually been a huge honor. It's absolutely good. As I previously mentioned, that there's so many people already talking about this. I think it was an absolutely fantastic show. Thank you so much for having us. I think next week's show is going to be absolutely phenomenal. When I'll be returning again, we'll have a chat about the rugby here in the UAE. You have the UAE Premiership, the West Asia Premiership, and all the going on behind the scene. So I hope that you guys also enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see all of you next week back here at Sportycast in the scrum.
I feel like
In the scrum, baby.
I feel like he's taken over my role as being the host of the show. But as you heard, Philip, you know, he thinks he runs the show. But we will be talking about talking about local rugby, and he will be giving more insight of what's been going on in the UAE rugby, the vlogs, who's going to be playing in the playoffs, and players that maybe, you know, that's come from other countries playing here in the local league. And as I mentioned in the beginning, he also plays, I think it's Dubai Exiles. Yeah.
I'm
So-
captain of the second team.
Good. So yeah, we'll be talking a lot more about that, and hopefully you won't take over my show like you did today. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Please follow and like below. Give us your thoughts, your predictions, what you thought about the new episode of In the Scrum. And yeah, until next time, cheers, guys.